once again to Songwriting for the Curious Guitarist. I'm Dan, and I'm your guitar teacher. I wanted to take a few minutes to welcome you to the course and to explain what you can expect going forward, all of the different components of the course, and kind of where we're going with this and what this is all about. So, I'm not making any claims that I'm going to teach you how to be a hit songwriter. I have been a guitar teacher for my whole career, and I have been writing songs for my whole life, and I'm combining these two things to show you throughout this course all the stuff that I've learned, and the do's and the don'ts, and the general guidelines for how to write a song. The interesting thing about songwriting versus teaching guitar lessons is that as a guitar teacher, it's usually very cut and dry. It's very organized. This is what you do, this is what you don't do. That's very easy to say when you're teaching guitar lessons. When you're teaching how to write a song, it's not that simple, because I believe that there are no rules. There should not be rules with songwriting. For a true song to be written, for true art to take place, there should be ultimate freedom. You should have ultimate freedom. Now, that being said, it is best to have some forum, some guidelines before we say we're going to do whatever we want to do. It's a good idea to learn the rules before you break them, but it is important to break the rules. So I don't believe in writing music from a perspective of a formula, or from the perspective of you always need to do this and you should never do that. I don't believe in that. I think that you should get some guidelines, and essentially all the stuff that we're going to talk about in our course is going to be a mixture of some classical guitar theory and music theory of what has always worked for writing songs in every style of music, rock and pop and jazz and classical, and going all the way back through time. All of the traditional functions that have always worked for writing a good sounding song. I'm going to explain that stuff to you. But I'm always going to encourage you to break the rules, or to break some of the rules so that you can have a unique song. If you follow the rules exactly, then you wouldn't be writing a unique song. So I want you to know the rules, and then after you learn them, I want you to start breaking them a little bit and trying to experiment with going in your own direction with your songwriting. I mentioned that I was a member of songwriting organizations, and I've been surrounded by a lot of professional songwriters in my career. And it is amazing to me that the most successful songwriters that I've met have not been very accomplished musicians. Seems counterintuitive, but the most successful songwriters, the people that are making big money and are selling to big name artists, sometimes they don't play an instrument at all. They don't play any instrument, and they can't sing. So they can't sing, they don't play any instruments. One of them doesn't read or write music. So imagine that. You can't read or write music, you don't play any instrument, and you can't sing. But this person is one of the most successful songwriters that I've ever met. I've met other people who have written songs for artists that I cannot believe it, because you would not expect certain people to be writing songs for certain artists. And that is what is so fascinating about the field of songwriting. I have spent most of my career learning about the technical side of music, the technical side of the guitar, all of the music theory, the guitar theory, and the interesting thing that I've learned is that a lot of this stuff does not serve you when you are a songwriter. These are not the tools that you need to be a successful songwriter. You don't need to be a great musician. You don't need to be a great guitar player. These are not things that you need to have to be a great songwriter. You need to have a good sense on how to put a song together to be a great songwriter, you have to be able to communicate your idea for a song. That is basically what you need. And it's good to know some people that you can communicate this to, communicating it to the right people. So for some of the most successful songwriters that I've met, that has been their method. They are great at communicating an idea of a song. They communicate it to the right people, and they surround themselves with musicians who can take their idea and put it in the studio and record it. It's amazing. So anyway, that being said, that is sort of my approach when I am teaching you songwriting, is that we are going to work on some of the music, the theory, the mechanics that we need to know in order to sort of stand on the shoulders of the masters that came before us. But at the same time, I don't want you to be feeling like you're getting bogged down with formulas or rules. We're going to talk about some rules, and then I expect you to break them later on. So we are going to go through the arrangements of a typical song. We're going to go through all of the parts of an arrangement, piece at a time. We're going to talk about a couple of different methods. I'm going to show you some different methods for putting the chords together. I'm going to show you the typical chords that we could use. Then we're going to talk about how to put the melodies on top of these chords. I've got a foolproof method for coming up with awesome melodies every single time. So we're going to put these perfect melodies over these chord progressions that are proven to work, and then towards the end of it I'm going to show you some ways to break the rules, ways to start putting your own spin into the music, because that's really important. And along the way I'm going to be showing you different rhythms, because there are just so many different ways that we can manipulate anything that we're writing. And so we're going to go through that. We're going to go through a lot of the permutations. We're going to do a lot of experimentation as we're going through. And we're going to be doing some mock chord progressions and mock melodies, and just experimenting with different possibilities, so you'll start getting the idea on how the process works. And then I'm going to cover some other things with you, like I will tell you about recording software. I will explain to you more about how the music industry works, and things of that nature, so that you'll kind of feel like you understand. If you wanted to start taking it to the next level, you'll know exactly how to do it. There is a lot in the world of songwriting, a lot of opportunities and places that we can go. Now, one of the things that I do have one lesson on lyric writing, but I don't get that deep into lyric writing in this course. This course is mostly about the music. So we're going to go through the mechanics of the music, the different pieces, and the theories behind the melody and the harmony, and how they work together alongside the arrangement. And that is the main focus of this course. I am going to give you some pointers on lyric writing, because I think it's important to have some direction when you're writing lyrics. I have noticed in the past, where I have been teaching songwriting to students, I've been surprised that some people have no idea how to get started doing it. So I'm going to get you started with your lyric writing. But it's pretty simple, and it's not anything that we need to spend too much time on. And it's a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. So if you have been playing guitar for a good amount of time, and you're pretty confident on the instrument, you're going to get a ton out of this course. And if you are new on the guitar, you're still going to get a ton out of this course, because I'm going to show you from a very basic perspective how to start putting this stuff together. I will also be showing you how to blow it up, and to be going through all the keys, ways to start expanding on your chords and your melodies, and to be going as complex as you want to go. But we're going to be keeping it simple, just so we can get the ideas out and just keep it flowing, because it's really important that we just keep it flowing, we keep writing, we keep on with the ideas. We can always make stuff more complicated, more complex later down the road, but we need to just start getting stuff on the paper, start recording things, start writing them down, and start getting right into the composing. Hopefully this makes sense to you, kind of gives you a sense on what to expect. It's a lot of fun, and we jump directly into it. So I think I've talked enough. I think you get the idea. So I'll see you in the next video.